everyone. Welcome to Be3U, and I'm your girl, Bree Charles, the host of the show. And I am so excited about what we are going to be running all month long, and that is the Altar Experience. This was an experience like no other. I truly had a great time interviewing some of the guests at the Altar Experience. I want to just thank right now Pastor Moena Tucker and Jamie Tucker for inviting me out to the Altar Experience, where I was blessed beyond measure with the words that was coming out. So I'm hoping that you as well here, my listeners, are just as blessed as I was to hear some of the interviews and some of the entertainment that we will be showing all month long. So take a look, enjoy, and remember, burn through the past, break the cycle, and become unstoppable. This is what it's all about. Check it out. Hey, everybody, we have Mrs. Chenia Hughes with us. She is a licensed master social worker. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. And I know you tired, girl. We all tired with this Altar Experience that over poured in us, and we are like, but just please tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
I'm a social worker, master. I am a crisis counselor, so I respond to crisis in the community, in homes, in schools, in jails, and just out on the streets. When anybody's in crisis, they'll call, like, here locally is 988.
Okay.
And then they'll be connected.
So can you walk us through like your current role? What is it you do exactly as a crisis manager?
Yeah. So it's a little with crisis. Crisis is different for everybody. What I think is a crisis is different. So whenever someone is in a space in which they are not able to navigate it on their own, they call. They can call us. They'll patch the call through to us. I'll kind of get some background information, some safety, make sure I'm not walking into anything that is unsafe, and then I'll go to that person. Our services in Kalamazoo County, where I am, are grant funded, so they're free to the client.
Oh, okay.
And when I respond and I do either de-escalation, whatever that looks like for that scenario, or it may have to get to the point where I have to hospitalize or send someone to like a inpatient care.
Okay. How'd you get into crisis management? What made you choose that field?
It chose me.
Oh,
it chose me.
Okay.
I actually have worked in many areas with social work, from working with elderly to working with kids. And when I believe when I worked at the Kalamazoo County Jail, was when my real crisis started coming into play. People in jail, mental health, substance abuse, and then just being in jail is a crisis in itself, and and just navigating those things. And I had a natural knack for it. People felt comfortable talking to me, sharing to me, open up with me, and I have a naturally calm spirit. And then also just, we all have a story, we all have a testimony. So just the background of where I come from and what I've been exposed to and what I've seen, it ain't a lot that surprised me no more. And it ain't too much that scared me. I tell people all the time, if you see me running, run. Because I ain't doing it for exercise. So
it must be
run first, ask questions later. Yeah.
What are some of the crises you face or you get called on? What is the most crisis that you are called for?
I see a lot of suicidal ideation. Lots of suicidal thoughts. Lots of substance abuse that in turn turns into mental illness, that due to the substances, they end up having like a chemical imbalance, which turns into like substance-induced schizophrenia and stuff like that. So I get a lot of people that are delusional or hallucinating. Lots of youth that are suicidal due to bullying,
Yeah.
due to dealing with we have a lot of LGBTQ community youth who are dealing with finding themselves and the pressure that comes with that. I would say youth and suicide and adults with substance abuse are my two highest call volumes I get.
Okay. What is one situation, one call that you got that touched you and you'll remember for the rest of your life? Or is it a lot?
It was a lot.
There's a lot. I'm sure with a person, since I've known you, met you, you have a big heart. I know that.
I do.
You have a big heart, so I'm sure that you're like me. I tend to just like, oh my God, I want to help.
You want to help
everybody. How do you maintain that?
Self-care. I'm big on self-care. They push it in school for social work because the burnout rate is so high. Because the type of work we do, and we definitely in it for the input and not the output. Because they don't pay you. Just social work in general for what we do.
Yes.
It's not.
You're not valued at what you do for what you do.
No, ma'am. Now there are ways to make money in the field.
Well, let me guess. You got to get a master's, triple time.
Yeah, and it's usually like private practice,
right?
Where you can really, get a good income. But if you care about people and you want to help, the people, I'm passionate about the people, God people. Jesus wasn't in the church. He wasn't sitting in the building.
Right.
He was in the streets. So those are the same people that I'm passionate about helping. So usually those type of positions.
Yeah.
But that fills my cup.
Okay.
That fills my cup to see people, I see when I used to work in the county jail, they used to call me Miss CMH. CMH is Community Mental Health. So they call me Miss CMH. So it's overwhelmingly joy when I in the mire and somebody, is that you, Miss CMH? I'm like, Jesus. I turn around and be like, hi.
Okay.
I said, Lord knows I'm gonna be able to date. Because the man gonna be like, who is that?
Yeah. Right.
And I can't tell you, who it is, how I know. That's breaking their HIPAA,
yes.
right? So I'm like,
Right. So
but it's really joyful to see somebody when they have come out on the other side and successful.
I bet you it's rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
Yes, I know what you mean because I that's the reason for B3U is like if I could just reach one person.
Yeah.
I pray for many.
Yeah.
But if somebody hears one of these podcasts and say, you know what, I understood, I got clarity. Now I know, and I've done my job.
Yeah.
So we all have a story.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have a story on why you went into mental health. Tell your story. I've heard it already.
I feel like it was a compilation of things. One thing is people was gonna make me be their therapist. People would tell me their business, and I just was like, I had regular jobs working with people, and I said, hey, how you doing? And next thing I know, they had told me they was abused as a child, molested. I'm like, I've been sitting with you 2 minutes.
And you didn't even ask.
I just said, how you doing? How did we get here? What about me made you feel comfortable sharing the most inner, darkest, I'm like, and it happened all the time. All the time. I'm like, these people about to pay me. I ain't about to be doing this for free.
Right.
So it's like, maybe I should go for social work. But even in going in it, I was speaking earlier and I was just kind of sharing that I had to go to therapy for myself and uncovering my own trauma of not having a good relationship with my biological father. And I have a stepfather that is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I will drown a fish for them.
Okay.
So God made sure I did not lack. But subconsciously, I still didn't feel like I was ever enough, because no matter what I did, I wasn't accepted or like praised by my biological father, even though I had my stepdad that went above and beyond for me. I had brothers whom I guess I could imagine my father desired boys. You know, just having some sons. I get it, you know. But he was very loving to my brothers, but me and my sisters, he wasn't. So I just, out of my trauma of not dealing with that, I grew up always trying to go above and beyond to be enough for him. So here I am. Oh, I'm gonna go get a degree. I'm his first child to go to college. I was a first generation college student on both sides of my family. Nobody had been to college before me. He didn't come to graduation. I'm like, and you know, like his response was, I didn't know you wanted me there. Why would you not want to be there?
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you mean? No, he said, I didn't know it was important. I'm like, what? Like, you know, by this time I had children, and my son had went to college, and I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't care what I had to do to get there to support him. So I just couldn't understand why he didn't have that same energy
for you,
for me.
And you did this repeatedly, getting degrees just for him to show up, right?
And I didn't even realize it was for him to show up. I didn't realize it until I got into therapy, and my therapist pushed past. I thank God for her, because she is, she's strong. I have a strong personality. Other people are intimidated by me. I'm not intimidating, but people are intimidated by my presence. So I have to have a strong therapist that's willing to call me out. And she'll call me out, you know. She'll let me, and she'll ask me something. She'll let me answer surface. Then she'll say, that was cute.
Oh, wow.
But why? I'm like, what you mean, why? Why what? Why does that bother you? Why, you know, and then I have to, and I what I learned about myself in that is, for me personally, I don't like to say things out loud, because if I say it out loud now, I have to address it. If I don't say it, nobody knows it's a thing. Nobody knows I'm insecure in these areas. Nobody knows I feel, you know, so then I don't have to address it. But when I say it out loud and I hear myself saying it, and I send those words out, now I have to do something about it. When you know better, you do better.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I've done that for years in the military with losing family members. I lost my aunt. She died from cancer. And, you know, anybody that I would lose, or my uncle, whatever, or my sister, oh my God, my God sister, I miss her dearly. And you know what, I would do that same thing. Well, if I don't address, like, she still lives right there on 55th, and I'll just go see her because I'm too busy right now. Or my aunt is she's there in Ohio. I'm just too busy. And that's how I kept myself from the grieving, just to say that they're still there. But whoa, when I retired and I started going through my some serious issues from losing people, and I couldn't fake it no more, because now I can really easily just go to Philly or wherever and visit. And I lost my nephew to suicide. It's just, that's when I hit that rock bottom, and I had to stop hiding. And then when Chenia, when I tell you, it hit me like a ton of bricks, years and years and years of just imagining these people are still alive in their own areas. Now I had to tell myself, they're not there. You can't call her. You can't go and see them. They're not there. I broke. I broke.
It does.
I just broke, and then I became angry.
Yeah.
I became angry because why is this happening to me? Then I found out where my other traumas came from. Not only did I just lose all the people who've been gone at one time, I lost a few family members at one time. Can you imagine?
I can. I know.
And so now, not only did I lose all of them, but now I know where all my other traumas come from. I'm telling you, I was, yeah, I am not the person who sits before y'all today.
Yeah.
But again, God brought me through, and He's shown me that I was never alone. All that time that I felt alone, I wasn't alone, and I no longer had to, like we were just talking about, I no longer have to. My value was within me. I don't need y'all to value me anymore. I didn't need for me it was my mother. I was doing things like that just for my mother to see, like, hey, look out, I'm the only child she has that went to college and got a degree. But I wanted to show her that I am a good girl. Look at me. Look at me. I always wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. I wanted to be seen because of so many of the traumas that I have been through and some of the things that I've hid. I just wanted to be seen.
Yeah, and it went into every area of life.
Yes.
You want to be seen in relationships, so you would act out of character in a relationship.
Yes.
You want to be seen at work. You want to be seen in the army. You're climbing the ladder of success in the army because you have to see me if you have to call me sergeant.
Yeah. Yes.
You have to see me in these spaces, and it still doesn't fill that void.
It does not. It does not. My fulfillment came when I found out who I was. Now I don't even care. You know what? I'm not the best child you got? Okay. Then let the children that you think is the best ones take care of you and do whatever. Put your faith in whatever. Yep. I know I don't try that hard anymore. I have a great marriage now, but I don't have to work hard for that. He sees me for who I am. With my children. It
tries to creep up still.
Yeah.
Like even spiritually, it creeps up on me. There's things that, people have spoken over me about who I am and what they see in me, that I'm not quite able to see in myself yet. I believe it. I'm not able to quite
see it.
Yeah, visualize it yet. But that fear of not being enough.
Yeah.
It won't allow me sometimes to take the next step forward because what if I fail? Or what if I don't fit in? Or what if I'm not good enough? Or what if, and it all goes back to the root of that thing. And it's not a blame, like it's my dad's fault. That's not what I'm doing. But I've just learned to recognize that that's where that is. So now when I feel it creeping up, I can address it. I can, talk to myself and tell myself about who God says I am.
Yes.
I can speak, positive words about myself. And I can, identify it early and not let it fester and sit and be forgiveness that in terms or offense. I'm able to identify it early and not let it grow into pull that weed up when it first comes through the sidewalk.
Oh my goodness. I know exactly what you're talking about, not letting it consume you. Yeah, and I will tell you, I can relate to what you said as well, because I watched you speak today, which y'all gonna see that, okay? Y'all gotta watch that, because you did an amazing job. Like you said, you can't see it, but I have those same fears because I've been speaking in front of hundreds of soldiers. Like that's my comfort zone is the military. So I could speak to 500 soldiers, but I get nervous when I speak in front of maybe 50 to 100 people, or ever many people is watching. I get tongue-tied, tongue twisted. I don't know what to say. My brain get cloudy. Like why?
Yeah.
Why does that happen?
That's our subconscious coming in. That's where I said that the trauma is a breeding ground for oppression. Like the enemy sees that, and it's like I can't let Bree be that podcast. I can't let that podcast be great. I gotta do everything I can, because if she walks into that completely, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I can't let her be that powerful.
Yeah, so let me bring up her fears. Let me bring up her insecurities.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me play in her mind. That's why that's why the word say we gotta be renewed in our mind
daily. Yes.
Because that's the area that he attacks. Because it's like, if I can get her mind, the rest of her gonna follow.
And that's the same thing for you, sis. Like you said, you came out there today and had people interacting, asking questions, and I was like, oh, I want to ask this question. I went and I ran to Moena, like, I got a testimony I want to tell. Can somebody just say? But by the time that you took the crowd to where, girl, I was like, well, they didn't took everything.
I was so blessed to have Apostle Nichols come to me afterwards. She's a general in the spirit.
Yes.
She is a general.
Yes.
And for her to come to me and tell me that I made her believe and see the importance and the connection of the natural and the spiritual when it comes to like mental health and taking care of yourself and spiritually, and not allowing people to think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and not just letting people speak that over you, and in the connection and the importance of addressing things and not letting things fester. Like for her, she said, I didn't believe in therapy. I come from that old school, that day where what goes on in my house, stay in my house.
Yes.
And just like, how you gonna tell me something? Where are you getting your information from? Who is you to tell me? I'm grown. She up there in age. She don't look it.
Oh no.
Oof.
Oh no.
I pray I look good at her, and I pray I make it to that age, because they ain't making it to that age.
This one flyer, he is getting on my nerves.
Right, he is. But for me, I'm sure it's not the first time she heard about therapy or counselors or anything, but for something that I got up there and said to change her mind about addressing childhood trauma and just trauma in general, because trauma as an adult it's always happening. It's not just childhood, and she said that she needed to address some things in herself. And I know, right?
You just want to be a part of this interview. I'm telling you, go ahead.
And to hear her say that what I said changed her mind, and it made her, rethink how she go about doing that. Not that I don't appreciate everything that, all the positive feedback that I got, but that right there,
What's the cake topper?
It was the cake topper for me.
Because 79 years old, people back in her time, they're very stubborn, and they don't like change. That's what they grew. That's what they know.
Yeah. And it was something about the way that God, delivered the message through me. That did that. And then other people just came up and, do you have contact information? And where do you do this? And how? And I didn't know it. I never thought about it like that. And I never thought about, the story of Noah and how people looked at him. I'm like, I can only imagine. I can only imagine what the naysayers were saying.
And that's one thing I realized too. Everybody is not going to like the content I put out. Everybody is not going to agree with the things I say. But now that I'm walking in my power and have taken control of that, you either watch the show and appreciate what my viewers are saying, you either watch the show and appreciate what I'm saying, or change the channel.
Or you don't. and you're probably gonna leave a nasty comment on the way to change it, and that's fine too. And
that's gonna be something that either I can take to grow from it or take it to throw it away. So being as though you're in the crisis management, that's a heavy work to do. How do you stay emotionally balanced?
God definitely give me a grace for it. I don't know what it is. I just have a grace for the areas He put me in, and I think the people know it when I come in. You know, like I said, some people are intimidated by me, and it's not always in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just. I remember when I was working in the county jail, there was a guy who he's just stayed in a delusional state.
Mm-hmm.
He was always in a delusional state. He would definitely be responding to his trauma, you know, yelling at his mom that abused him when he was younger, so even though she wasn't in the jail cell with him.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I walked past and he looked at me and he started cursing me out, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got that often. And he looked at me and he said, "Now go tell your God that." I said, because I hadn't said a word. He said, "Yeah, you heard me. Go tell your God that." I said, "Well, I'm glad you know." He said, "No, shut up, demon.
Wow.
Because I see you."
Mm-hmm.
And he hushed. But the fact he's seen that, even in his delusional state,
Mm-hmm.
he's seen the God in me.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty co-workers, plenty deputies,
Mm-hmm.
plenty officers, sergeants, other mental health clinicians have walked past. He ain't say nothing about no God to them. I
Mhm.
walked past, even though he was cutting me out. But he said, "Now go tell your God that."
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell him that you talk to me like that. Sure is, because I'm gonna pray for you tonight. But the fact that you can see it on me,
Mm-hmm.
so I do think God give me a grace for it spiritually. And then just naturally, I just self-care. I pray. I
And that's what I was
journal.
going to ask you. How do you decompress?
I journal. I just do many just self-care regimens. I get massages. I get my nails and my pedicure. That's just, just so I can, feel like, relaxed. I spend time with, family
Mm-hmm.
and friends and, my village of people. And then I leave. I try really hard to leave work at work. I try to cut it off. I'm not very good at it. I am working on my boundaries. That is my, the actual interviews will show weakness. My weakness is my boundary with cutting it off, and not taking work home with me.
Okay.
And then my therapy, because that's my safe place to dump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a professional dump. And then of course I got my spiritual, but I don't, share like people's information with my spiritual, but with my therapist I can do that dump. And she understands because, she work in the field in the therapy world too, so she understands. But I can let it go. So I'll pull it on, and then I just don't be a dumpster. I just don't let people dump on me and leave it.
Right.
I release it.
Okay.
And I do what I can. And I ask God, I pray and ask God to put me, let my path cross with the ones that you want me to impact, the ones that you want me to be able to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
And He does that. He does it daily.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Chenia, there's a what is the most common misconception that people have about crisis management, or what's a misconception that people have out there?
I think the biggest misconception is that, like, when you call crisis lines, that means that you're automatically going to be hospitalized, or automatically going to be put into like a psychiatric unit or hospital or inpatient stay. It's actually pretty hard to be hospitalized for your mental health. It's not against the law to be delusional. It's not, I can't justify, petitioning or sending people to the hospital because they're, outside of their normal way of living. It's actually quite frustrating. I get a lot of people who family members are not their normal selves, but because they're not a danger to themselves or other people, we have to let them be. There's been plenty of times I've been caught and I have seen people walking down the street talking to themselves, asking me, do I see the man on the unicorn across the street? You know what? I don't see him, but I wholeheartedly believe you do. But guess what? I can't hospitalize him.
Not for that.
No.
Because
But to his family, that's frustrating because my son's not supposed to see a unicorn across the street with a tutu on. Like, what do you mean you can't hospitalize him?
Yeah.
He's not okay, and he's not. But people think that, you know, that means we get to automatically, or a youth who is out of control and breaking windows at their parents' house and breaking cabinets and punching holes in walls. It's destruction. You can press charges, but I know that's not your child that you used to interacting with, but I can't hospital or do anything about that. So it's frustrating though.
Happen.
Because I believe that it is a part of the broken system.
Yes.
Because you have a youth that is acting like this and a parent is calling for help. And I come and I can de-escalate him. I can calm him for the moment, but it's not gonna last. And then he grows up into the adult that does that, that you put in jail.
Right. It is a very broken system.
That you didn't do anything about when I was trying to get him help all the way up until he turned 18, and now you ready to lock him up.
Yeah.
For rehabilitation, which is actually punishment.
It is such a broken system. That's a whole
nother
talk.
Horse of a different color. I
It's a
know.
whole nother talk. But I just want to thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for your time today, speaking today. I want to thank you for the knowledge that you poured into me. This is the closest I've had a conversation with crisis management without being
in crisis.
Yeah,
without being the one in crisis. Yeah.
So it is amazing what you do. God bless you. God continue to bless you.
Yes.
Thank you. One of the panelists from the Altar Experience, another one. And I'm just blessed by your presence, blessed by your word, blessed by your teaching.
Yes.
I have another new sister.
Yes,
So great.
I'm so excited.
So be through you. Thank you for coming and viewing the Altar Experience with me and Miss Chenia Hughes. See you guys soon.